Bismillahi wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullahi. My bad. Inshallah, we shall continue with the lesson 6. So which is talking about sentence with a noun, jumla to ismiya. So you have read that a complete statement is called a sentence, that is jumla. So you see the lesson 3 note 2. So remember that sentences are of two types, jumla to ismiya and jumla to fi'liya. So a jumla to is a complete statement or sentence in Arabic that conveys a full meaning. So as previously mentioned in the session 2.3, that is lesson 3 and note 2. So there are two types of sentence in Arabic grammar. So a jumla to ismiya is one in which the first part is a noun, that is ismun, e.g. Zaydun Hassan, Zayd is handsome. So jumla to ismiya is a nominal sentence, a sentence that begins with noun, ismun. And the second one is jumla to fi'liya, that is one in which the first part is a verb, fi'lun, that is verbal sentence. So the first one is nominal sentence and the second one is verbal sentence, jumla to fi'liya. So the sentence that begin with a verb. Example, hasuna zaydun, hasuna zayd. Hasanun here is a noun, while hasuna is a verb. Hasuna is a verb. So Zayd became handsome. And the first one is Zaydun Hasanun. Zayd is handsome. And the second one is Hasuna Zaydun. Then Zayd became handsome. Or Zayd was handsome. So in Arabic, the meaning of is or was can be understood without needing an actual word like is. So the relationship between the subject and the description is expressed. So and it's going to express the complete idea. Unlike the English that we have a particular word for is. So there's not a real particular word for is in Arabic. So here we shall follow some rules of jumla to ismiya, while the jumla to fi'liya will be discussed in lesson 14. So the first part of is jumla to ismiya is generally definite, that is ma'rifa, while the second part is indefinite, nakratun. In the above example, the word zaydun is definite, while hasanun is indefinite. So a jumla ismiya is a sentence that starts with a noun, and it is usually of two parts. It usually consists of two parts. So, and the first part is called mubtada'u, that is subject or starter. So this is the first part of the sentence, which is the mubtada, and it is typically definite, that is, it is ma'rifa. So while the second part is khabaru, is predicate or news, and it tells us, and this part tells us something about the subject. So also it is indefinite. It usually be indefinite, nakirotun. So like the example of Zaydun Hasanun. So Zaydun here is a proper noun, so it is definite, that is mubtada. Why Hasanun, handsome, is an adjective, and it is what is also indefinite, that is it is indefinite. and it is the khabar, that is the predicate. So here the nominal sentence consists of the subject and the predicate. Subject and the predicate, that is mubtada'u wal khabaru. So here, let me make another example. We have al-walad nashitun, that is the boy is active. The boy is active. Al-walad here, the boy is with al, which is definite, the mubtada, and the nashit active, it is the khabar, that is the predicate. So and then it is indefinite. The boy is active. Al-waladu nashitun, the boy is active. Another example that we have here is at-talibu mujtahidun. At-talibu mujtahidun. So the talib, which is the mubtada, is that the student is definite. Is mu'arafu bil lam, is definite with alif wa lam, with al. And mujtahidun, which is the khabaru, the predicate, is indefinite, hardworking or diligent. So the full translation will be at-talibu mujtahidun, the student is hardworking. So in jumlat ismiyya, so the subject mubtada is usually definite, ma'rifa, as we see in the above example. So and the predicate khabaru is usually indefinite, nakiratun. So why is the subject usually indefinite? It's because you are talking about something specific. So it helps the listener know what or who is the sentence is about. So note 1, the difference between jumlat ismiyya and murakkab mutawsifiyya. So if you recall the murakkab mutawsifiyya, that's the adjectival phrase that we learned in lesson 3. So is that in the murakkab mutawsifiyya, both the parts are the same in being definite or indefinite. While in this jumlat ismiyya, the first part is definite and the second part is indefinite. Consequently, in the above mentioned example, so both part of jumlat ismiyya are typically, that is both parts of the jumlat ismiyya are typically in the nominative case, that is marfu'. Hence you will often see dhamma, that is at the end of the both word. So both part of the jumlat ismiyya are typically in the nominative case, that is marfu', that is halatu rafi'. So and one of the sign of halatu rafi' is dhamma. So it's not the only sign, as we shall learn in the future lesson. So it's just one of the sign is being dhamma. So that is why you see in the word zaydun hasanu. So zaydun end with dhamma and hasanu also end in dhamma. And at-talibu nashitun, at-talib ends with dhamma, and the nashitun also end in dhamma. So we have further example here. We have at-taqsu baridun. At-taqsu baridun. So the weather is cold. At-taqsu, the weather, is definite, and baridun is cold, is indefinite. So the weather is cold. Al-kitabu jadidun. Al-kitabu jadidun. So the book is new. So al-baytu jamilun. The house is beautiful. Ash-shamsu sati'a. Ash-shamsu sati'a. So the sun is shining, that is bright. So as we are saying, like in the word rajulun hasanu, the place, if an indefinite noun take the place of the word zaidun, and you said rajulun hasanun, or you render the second word hasanun definite by adding al, you render it definite by adding al to it, and say zaidun al hasanu, both this will become an adjectival phrase, that is murakabun tawsifiyun. It will become an adjectival phrase. So however, when the second part of a jumla ismiya is not a word that can become an adjective of a noun, so it is permissible for the second part also to be definite. That is ana yusuf, ana yusuf. So yusuf here is not a word that can become adjective. It's not all the words that are adjective, so it's only when the word is an adjective. So it is permissible to insert a separate pronoun, that is domir, between the subject mubtada and the predicate khabaru. So the example of ar-rajulu huwa salihu, the man is pious, and ar-rajulu hum ar-rijalu humus salihuna, the men are pious. So clarifying the difference between the jumla ismiya and murakkabu tawsifiyun, that is descriptive and adjectival phrase. So what to understand is the difference between a jumla ismiya, that is the nominal sentence, and the murakkabu tawsifiyun, an adjectival or descriptive phrase, is based on the definiteness, that is being definite or indefinite of its parts. So in murakkabu tawsifiyun, the descriptive phrase, both parts, that is the noun mausuf and its adjective sifa, must match in being definite or indefinite, in gender, number, and the i'rab, that is case. So this means if the first word is indefinite, the second must be indefinite. That is in case of murakkabu tawsifiyun. So if the first word is definite, then the second must be definite. So the example of a rajulun salihun, so a pious man, both are indefinite. That's why it is a descriptive phrase. So ar-rajulu and the ar-rajulu salihu, the pious man, both are definite. So that is why it's also a descriptive phrase. So but in jumla ismiya, that is the nominal sentence, so the first part, that is the which is the subject mubtada, is usually definite, and the second part, predicate, the khabaru, is usually indefinite. So in the example of Zaidun Hasan, Zaid is handsome. So Zaid here is definite and Hasanun is indefinite. So that is nominal sentence. So there are common mistake. If someone say rajulun hasanun, a good man, so this is not a full sentence. It is just a descriptive phrase. So because both parts are indefinite. So similarly, Zaidun al Hasan, Zaid the handsome. So Zaid here is definite because it's a proper noun, and all the proper noun are definite. And al Hasanu is definite because it's as al, so it's ma'rufu bil lam. So this is also not a normal nominal sentence because it's an adjectival phrase, since both words are definite. So but there are exceptions to the definite plus indefinite rule in jumlatu ismiya. So we have an exception. The exception one, when the predicate, that is the khabar, is not a descriptive word. So in this case, the sentence, the second part, that is the khabaru, can also be definite, and the sentence is still valid. So in the example of Ana Yusuf, so I am Yusuf. So Ana is a pronoun, that is a pronoun. definite. So all the pronouns are definite. So Yusuf is a proper noun, and all the proper noun is also definite. So and then it's still what? It's still Jumlatu Ismiya. So because Yusuf is a proper noun, not an adjective, so the sentence is fine. So the second exception is adding a separating pronoun, that is domir. Adding domir to the sentence. So sometimes a separate pronoun like huwa, here, whom is placed between the subject and the predicate for clarity or emphasis. For the example of ar-rajulu huwa salihu. So in the example of ar-rajulu huwa salihu, so the man is the righteous one. So the man is the righteous one. So ar-rajulu, the man, is mubtada, huwa, he, that domir firstly. So a separating pronoun. So and we have as-salihu, the pious, to be the khabar. So ar-rijalu humus salihun. So the men are the righteous. So ar-rijalun. So ar-rijalun, the men, is mubtada, whom, they, that is the domir, that is the domir. So as-salihun, the pious one, which is the khabar. So this pronoun is not necessary, but help emphasize or distinguish between two definites. So why are some words always definite or not descriptive? So some word cannot be used as an adjective, such as proper name, that is ismul alam, e.g. Zaidun or Yusuf or Abdullahi, and so on, or Fatima and Nana and Habiba and Maimuna. So the pronoun, that is the domir, e.g. Ana, Nahnu, can be added or can be inserted in between the two definite or two indefinite phrase. So the demonstrative pronoun, which is ismun, isharo, hada, and tilika, also can be added. So with this kind of word occur in the predicate, that is khabar, it is okay if they are definite, that is the sentence remain grammatically valid. So if this some of this pronoun is being inserted between the two definite nouns, so it will still be considered as nominal sentence, that is ismu jumla ismiya. So if the pronoun is removed from here, that is from the above mentioned example, so this sentence will become an adjectival phrase, that is murakabun tawsifiyun. So note 2, in Arabic there is no word for is as in English. So this word is understood from the sentence. So therefore Zaidun alimun means Zaid is land. So it's a land person. So although the word is not there, the word is not there. So the first part of Jumla Ismiya is called Mubtada, so as I've mentioned earlier, so the subject, while the second part is called the Khabar, the predicate. So generally the Mubtadahu and the Khabaru are in Halatu Rafi', the nominative case, the one that I've already explained earlier, that is they will be in Halatu Rafi'. So the predicate conforms to the subject in number and gender, as in the case of the adjective. So however, when the subject is jamu ghayru akil, that is the plural of an non-intelligent being, so the predicate is generally singular feminine. So the example is like the detailed explanation with an example. So let us dwell in sentence part of the phrase. So if you remove the separating pronoun from sentence like ar-rajulu huwa salihu and say Ar-rajulu salihu. So this is no longer a sentence but a descriptive phrase, that is murakabun tawsifiyun, so meaning the pious man. And also, if the both words are definite, that is the structure become a phrase, not a sentence. In Arabic, there is no direct equivalent of the verb is, are, or am in the present tense. So example like Zaidun alim, so it's literally translated as Zaid land. Zaid land. So Zaid land. So it is understood as what? Zaid is land. Zaid is land. So anta tojiba. So literally you, that is feminine. Anti tojiba is you, feminine, that is good. So it is understood as what? As you are good. So Arabic understand the idea of is and are from context and grammar, not by inserting a separate word. So however, there is a verb in Arabic that can mean is, which is yakun. So he becomes. Is will be put in. It is usually used in more formal or future context. So for example, yakunu li waladu mujtahidan, that is the boy will be hard working. Yakunu li waladu mujtahidan, the boy will be hard working. So al mubtada wal khabaru, that is the subject and the predicate. So the mubtada, who the subject is usually a noun. This is just a recap. So the subject is usually a noun, comes first, and it is definite. So and the khabar, which is the predicate, is usually says something about the subject, and it comes after, and also is indefinite in most time. So for an example, we have al-labanu baridun. So the milk is cold. Al-labanu is mubtada and is a definite noun, and baridun is the khabaru describing the milk, and it is indefinite. So at libatu mujtahida, the female student is hardworking. The female student is hardworking. So both the subject and the predicate are in nominal case, that is rafu and halatu rafi, that is halatu rafi. They will both marfu. So this means they both take dhamma when indefinite, dhammateni when indefinite, and dhamma when dhammateni when it is indefinite, and single dhamma when it is definite. So the example of al-qamaru jamilun, al-qamaru jamilu, the moon is beautiful. So they are both in reference case, that is end with dhamma, and rajulun salihun, a good man. So they are both in definite, and they both end in dhammateni. So the detailed lesson on case, that is in Arab, will come in lesson 10, inshallah. So also the predicate, which is khabaru, agree with the subject in number and gender. So that is in the example of ar-rajulu salihu, ar-rajulu salihu. So the man is pious. The man is pious. So they are both singular masculine. So al-mura'atu salihatu. So the woman is pious. So they are both singular feminine. So we have ar-rijalu salihun. The men are pious. So they are both what? Masculine plural. So the khabaru also plural. So the salihun is also plural. So I think we have an exception here, which is when the subject is a non-intelligent plural, as we have mentioned earlier. So jamu ghayru aqil. So if the subject is plural, not a living, that is intelligent being, that is animal, objects, and so on. So the predicate is usually in singular feminine form. So like in the example of kutubun mufidatun. So the word kutubun mufidatun, that is books are beneficial. Kutubun mufidun, books are beneficial. So the word kutubun is kutubun mufidatun, that is beneficial books. Beneficial books. So books is a plural of non-human, that is non-intelligent being. So mufidatun is a singular feminine and it is adjective. So akulamun jadida. Akulamun jadida. So the new pens. So jadida is not judadun. So because the plural of jadidun is judadun, is jududun, even though pens are plural. So this applies to all non-intelligent plural nouns, including ashjar, that is trees, and hayawanat, animals, and manazil, houses. So a clear detailed explanation of note. So we have a table that showcase the this above explanation with more example and details. So we have a nominal sentence, jumla ismiya. In the example of ar-rajulu sadiqu, the man is truthful, that is singular, masculine, and intelligent. So we have ar-rajulu definite because of al, is definite because of al, which is called mu'arrafu bil lam. So we have sadiqun indefinite, that is indefinite, which is the predicate. So that's why they are, it is full sentence. Although when both parts is definite, is an adjective, and when both parts are indefinite is also an adjective. So the structure will become murakabun tawsifiyyu, that is adjectival phrase, not a sentence, if both sides are definite or indefinite. So we have the last example here. We have ar-rajulu sadiqu. Ar-rajulu sadiqu, the truthful man. So it's a phrase. It's a phrase, not a sentence. So ar-rajulu sadiqu, where the subject is definite and the adjective is also definite, and the example of rajulun sadiqun, so where the subject is indefinite and the predicate and the second part, which is the adjective, is also indefinite. So a truthful man. This is adding al to the predicate or removing it from the subject turns a sentence into a descriptive phrase, that is an adjectival phrase, murakabun tawsifiyyun. So in our table here we have ar-rajulu sadiqu, the man is truthful, which is singular, masculine, and is an intelligent being. So we have ar-rajulani sadiqani. Ar-rajulani sadiqani, the two men are truthful. So they are both in dual and also masculine, intelligent. So ar-rijalu sadiqun, the men are truthful. So plural, masculine, intelligence. So they are both complete sentence. And al-mar'atu sadiqatu. Al-mar'atu sadiqa. So the woman is truthful. The singular feminine intelligent being. So al-mar'atani sadiqatani. The two women are truthful. So they are both dual feminine intelligent. So we have the plural of mar'atu is an-nisa'u. So here we have an-nisa'u sadiqatun. An-nisa'u sadiqatun. So the women are truthful, both plural feminine intelligent. So it is a sentence. So ar-rihu shadidatu. Ar-rihu shadida. So the wind is severe. The wind is severe. That is singular feminine, non-intelligent. Singular feminine, non-intelligent. So ar-rihani shadidatani. The two winds are severe. So rihani is dual. So dual feminine of non-intelligent being. So by the plural, in the case of the plural, we have ar-riyahu shadidatun. Ar-riyahu shadida. So the winds are severe. Plural feminine of non-intelligent being. So the predicate here is singular while the subject is plural. So rajulun sadiqun, a truthful man. So rajulun sadiqun, a truthful man. So it is indefinite. So indefinite plus indefinite is not a sentence. It's murakabun wasfiyun. Or murakabun tawsifiyun is a descriptive phrase. So what we are doing here now is by removing or by adding al to the previous mentioned example. So in summary, so how to tell the difference between the Jumla Ismiya and Murakabun Tawsifiyya. So I've been emphasizing this because we should not go and incur in mistakes. That is why I usually repeat this difference between the Jumla Ismiya and Murakabun Tawsifiyya. That is this descriptive phrase. So in the Mubtada, that is in the Jumla Ismiya, we have Mubtada and Khabar. So where the Mubtada is usually definite, the Mubtada usually definite, although it can be definite or indefinite. And then the predicate Khabar is usually indefinite. So and then it must match in the definiteness, gender, and i'rab. So for example, we have rajulun sadiqun, ar-rajulu sadiqu, ar-rajulu sadiqun. So rajulun sadiqun, a truthful man. Ar-rajulu sadiqu, the truthful man. Ar-rajulu sadiqun, the man is truthful. So the last one is the correct is sentence while the previous two is phrase. So and also we have something called misgender subject, that is predicate follow masculine form. So if the sentence has two or more subjects and they are of different gender. So if there are two subjects and they are of different gender, that is different types, that is one is masculine and one is feminine, so the predicate will be masculine, like al-ibnu wal-libnatu. Al-ibnu wal-libnatu hasanani. Wal-ibnu wal-libnatun hasanani. That is the son and the daughter are beautiful. So the son and daughter are beautiful. So if the sentence has two or more subjects and they are of different genders, so the predicate follow the masculine form. This is a general and grammatical rule in Arabic. So masculine dominates when genders are mixed. Like the example of al-ibnu wal-bintu hasanani. So the son and the daughter are beautiful. So al-ibnu is masculine. and al-bintu is what? Is feminine, and their predicate, which is Hasanani, is dual masculine, so used for male gender. So the key point here is that there are two nouns joined by wa, and one is masculine, so the predicate must be masculine too. So like the example of ar-rajulu wal muratu akilani, so the man and the woman are wise. The man and the woman are wise. And we have other example here. We have atiflu wa tiflatu na iman, so the boy and the girl are asleep. So because they are both there are two subjects, that is why the predicate is also in dual, but the dual is mixed, is one masculine and other is feminine, so the predicate will always be masculine. So the note number 7, the subject and the predicate are sometimes singular and sometimes they are compound, that is murakkab. So the example of singular have passed. So what we have been doing so far is the example of singular predicate. So here under follow the example of murakkab, that is when the predicate is a murakkab. It's either murakkabun is a tawsifiyun or murakkabun idafiyun. So in many cases, either the subject or the predicate can be a compound phrase. So it will not be a single word like we have been learning in our previous class and the previous lesson. So the two most common compound structures are murakkabun tawsifiyun, that is descriptive or adjectival compound, and murakkabun idafiyun, that is genitive or possessive phrase. So we have some example here, which is ar-rajulu tayyibu hadir. Ar-rajulu tayyibu hadir, that is the good man. Ar-rajulu tayyib, they are both subject. So ar-rajulu tayyib, the good man. Hadir is the predicate here, which is present. So the subject is what? Is murakkabun tawsifiyun. Murakkabun tawsifiyun. And the other example we have is zaidun rajulun tayyibun. Zaidun rajulun tayyib. So Zaid is a good man. Zaid is a good man. So the predicate here is murakkabun tawsifiyun. So the first sentence we have the subject to be murakkabun tawsifiyun, and the second example we have the predicate to be murakkabun tawsifiyun. So notice something here. The compound part can occur in either the subject or the predicate. So as in case of the first example where the subject is in compound, and the second example where the predicate is in compound. So here we have some other example. We have al-bintul zakiyatu najiha. Al-bintu zakiyatu najiha, the intelligent daughter passed. So the intelligent daughter passed, that is passed the or succeed or successful, is successful. So the intelligent daughter is successful. We have Muhammadun talibun mujtahidun. Muhammadun talibun mujtahidun. So Muhammad is a diligent student. So the first one, al-bintu al-zakiyatu najiya, that is the subject is murakkabun tawsifiyun, where Muhammadun talibun mujtahidun is the predicate. So talibun mujtahidun, that is a diligent student. So Muhammad is a diligent student. So the predicate here is murakkabun tawsifiyun. So Zainabu talibatun fadila. Zainabu talibatun fadila. So the predicate here is murakkabun tawsifiyun. And then we have ar-rajulu sahibul ilm hadar. Ar-rajulu sahibul ilm hadar. So the subject here is murakkabun idafiyun. Murakabun idafiyun, that is possessive phrase. So ar-rajulu sahibul ilm. So ar-rajulu sahibul. So we have rajulun, that is the man, sahibul ilm, that possess knowledge. So the man that possess knowledge is present. So the man that possess knowledge is present. So our note number 8, it said by adding ma or lesser to a jumla ismiya, so it changed from positive to negative. Although most often back kasra is added to the predicate, which change the case to the genitive, that is hala to the jar. So to change a nominal sentence, that is jumla ismiya, from positive to negative, so Arabic use ma or lesser. So e.g. ma zaidun bi'alimin, as if Zaid is not learned. Zaid is not learned. So when ma comes before the sentence, it means not. So in the past or general. And later, and when later comes before the sentence, it means it's not, that is often present or future. So using ma, Zaidun alimun, Zaid is not learned. So the structure stays simple. And using laysa Zaidun rajulun, laysa Zaidun rajulun, laysa Zaidun bi rajulin qabihin. So Zaid is not a bad person, or it's not an ugly man. So Zaid is not a wise man. Laysa Zaidun rajulan faqihan, laysa Zaidun bi rajulin qabihin, laysa Zaidun bi rajulin qabihin. Zaid is not a bad person. So the subject Zaidun become its noun, it will become ismun laysa and remain in nominative case, that is marfu'un, while the predicate become the khabaru laysa and usually take accusative case, that is it will be mansub. That is why you see it will take fatha. So using ba kasra is for emphasize. It's for emphasize purpose. So it is being used with ma. So you can say ma zaidun bi faqihin, ma zaidun bi faqihin, ma zaidun bi alim. So Zaid is by no means a scholar. So it's for emphasizing. So Zaid is by no means a learned person. So the back kasra be add emphasis and make the predicate genitive, that is majrur. So it will render the predicate kasra, and then the kasra is just one sign of the majrur. So the genitive case. So very often the word inna is prefixed to jumla ismiya. As a result, the subject change to hala to nasb, so the accusative case, while the predicate remain unchanged. E.g. inna le arda mudawwara, inna le arda mudawwara. So undoubtedly the earth is round. Undoubtedly the earth is round. So inna la arda. So it is because of the inna, the arda take fatha, and when it is fatha, that is hala to nas. When it is hala to nas, then it will take fatha. So but the predicate, which is mudawwaratun, it still remain the in morophone state. So halatu rafin is still remain morophone. That's why it take domateni. So inna al-arda mudawwara. So undoubtedly the earth is round. So note 4, to create the meaning of interrogation in a sentence, that is question. That is question. So hal or hamza fatah is added to the beginning, e.g. Azaidun alimun. So is Zaid land? Is Zaid a land person? So hal rajulu alimu, is the man land? So that is way of creating of asking question using hal and a. So this will be the end of our lesson 6. So we shall be heading to the vocabulary list number 5. So the first word we have am, or that is in question. Bakorotun, cow. Bala, certainly, why not? Jadidun, new. Jiddan, very. Jalisun, aw qa'idun, sitting. Harrison, guide. Shatun, sheep. Filun, elephant. Qa'imun, standing. Qadimun, old. Kalbun, dog. Mashhurun wa ma'rufun, famous. So mu'minun, believer. Na'am, yes. Dahmun, thick. So both mashhurun and ma'rufun, they were both famous. They were both famous in English. So here we have some pronouns. So that is the nominative detached pronoun. Ad-dama'irul marfu'atul munfasila. So these are examples of a pronoun in Arabic. We have the third person, the second person, and first person. So the third person ghaib, and the second person hadir. The first person pronoun is the speaker, that is mutakallim. And we both have the masculine, feminine. They are both in the third person and second person. But in the case of the first person, there's no gender discrimination in the first person. So we have the total number of 14 pronouns altogether in the nominative pronoun. So which is huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu. So the the third person singular masculine, huwa, it means he or it. The third person singular masculine, huwa, it means he or it. So the third person dual masculine, huma, they. The third person plural masculine, whom, it also means they. So the third person singular feminine, here, she or it. And the third person dual feminine, huma, they. Third person plural feminine, hunna, they. So the second person hadir. So the second person singular masculine, anta, you. The second person dual masculine, antuma, you. And the third person plural masculine, antum. So here we have different 3 word for the second person masculine pronoun. and the English meaning is always you. So even in the case of the feminine, we have anti. The second person singular feminine is anti. The dual feminine is antuma. Likewise the masculine. So they are both antuma. So if you notice, both in the third person and the second person, so the dual is always the same. So the dual of third person is huma, and the dual of second person is antuma. So the plural of the second person plural feminine is antunna, that is you, while the first person speaker is mutakallim, ana, I, and nahnu, we. So these pronouns are most often the subject of a sentence. So hence they are regarded as marufu'. They are in the nominative case. So you see the lesson 6 note 4. So they are called munfasila because they are pronounced independently. So note 6. Also remember that ana is always pronounced as ana without the alif. So the exercise 5, note 7. When speaking, pause, that is work at the end of a set of sentence as mentioned in exercise number 1. So however, initially continue writing all the haraka. So translate the following into English. Al-waladu qa'imun, al-ibnatu jalisatun. هل الولد قائم؟ نعم هو قائم. هل الابنة قائمة؟ لا هي جالسة. أهذا الرجل نجار أم خباز؟ هو خباز ما هو بالنجار. أطرفة شاعر؟ أطرفة شاعر؟ نعم هو شاعر معروف. هل أنتم خياطون؟ هل أنتم خياطون؟ ما نحن بخياطين بل نحن معلمون. هل هن معلمات؟ نعم هن معلمات صالحات. أأنت يوسف العلامة؟ أنا يوسف لكن ما أنا بعلامة. هل زينب معلمة كسلانة؟ لا هي معلمة مجتهدة. هل هارة نظيفة؟ نعم هي هارة نظيفة. أليس البقر بحيوان نافع؟ بلى البقر حيوان نافع جدا. إن الكلب حيوان حارث. إن المرأة الصالحة جالسة. إن المرأتين الصالحتين جالستان. إن المعلمين والمعلمات المجتهدون. So this is the English. So fill in the translate the previous into the English. So fill in the blank which represents a subject or predicate with a suitable word that you have learned so far. So ad-dar dash al-waladani salihani dash al-baytu laysa bi dash kaslana. هل النجار dash أنا dash نعم هو dash هما dash. هل dash كسلان؟ هل ابنة dash أم dash؟ أليس الكلب بداش؟ الشاة dash والكلب dash. بلى dash جارس هارس. بلى dash هارس. الخياط dash والخياطة dash. الفيل dash ضخم dash. أهذا الولد dash أم dash. Al-mura'atu sadiqa dash inna dash mujtahid. Al-ibnatani dash inna dash kaslanatan. Inna dash mujtahidat. So fill in the gap with the suitable word that we have learned so far. So and complete the English section. So translate into Arabic. So this will be the end of our class. Bi-iznillah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wassalamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin.